From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina-Navidad. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly is urging Israel to de-escalate conflict in the Middle East and not bomb Iran in retaliation for hundreds of airstrikes over the weekend. Israel and Iran have been in proxy war for years, and Iran responded to an attack on its embassy in Syria by launching hundreds of drones and missiles toward Israel, almost all of which the country blocked. Joly says she told Israel's foreign minister to resist a direct attack on Iran that could lead to more global instability.
We are clearly pushing for de-escalation, and we need to make sure that the conflict doesn't extend to the region. So that is why I've been clear to my counterpart in Israel, please take the win and make sure that we can work together to bring back peace in the region.
She also called for a ceasefire in Gaza, where Palestinians are being told not to return to the northern area, a day after medical officials said Israeli troops killed 5 people among throngs of displaced residents trying to return home. In BC, more than 100 pro-Palestinian protesters blocked access to a major container port terminal in Metro Vancouver for hours earlier today. Across the country, in downtown Halifax, police arrested 21 protesters who had blocked traffic. Some carried Palestinian flags while others held banners saying "Free Palestine." The federal government is doubling its investment to train city firefighters to handle the growing risk that forest fires pose to urban areas.
More than 1 in 10 Canadians now live in areas considered to be at risk of a wildfire as more urban developments expand into forested areas. At the same time, climate change has made wildfires both more frequent and intense. Natural Resources Minister Jonathan Wilkinson says $800,000 will go to the International Association of Firefighters to upgrade training for firefighters who normally battle structural fires to also handle blazes from a forest. Last year, $400,000 was given to the IAFF, which allowed it to train 25 instructors and more than 300 firefighters in British Columbia and Alberta. Mia Rabson, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
The first day of Donald Trump's historic hush money trial in New York has concluded with no jurors chosen. The weapons expert on the set of the Western movie Rust has been sentenced after a jury found that her actions led to the shooting death of the film's cinematographer.
18 months in prison for Hannah Gutierrez. That's the sentence handed down by Judge Mary Marlowe Summer in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Monday, and the judge was blunt during sentencing.
You alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon. But for you, Miss Hutchins would be alive, a husband would have his partner, and a little boy would have his mother.
In court, Gutierrez said she's not the monster she's been made out to be, just a person who tried to do her best to handle a tough job. She was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Edmonton Oilers say captain Connor McDavid will be back in the lineup tonight when they host the San Jose Sharks in NHL action. McDavid missed Edmonton's last 3 games with a lower body injury. The Ottawa Senators are at Madison Square Garden tonight to take on the New York Rangers, while the Montreal Canadiens visit the Detroit Red Wings. In MLB action, the Toronto Blue Jays take on the New York Yankees. Switzerland's Marcel Hug coasted to his 7th win in the men's wheelchair race in the Boston Marathon.
A new marathon record set in Boston. Switzerland's Marcel Hug winning the men's wheelchair race, despite crashing and flipping over at about the 18-mile mark.
It was my fault, didn't steer properly.
But Hug able to right himself.
Material was okay, so I could get up and go forward.
And beating his own course record of just over 1 hour and 15 minutes for his 7th Boston win. Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
From the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina-Navidad.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.